Let's take a look at the back of the LV5770 monitor. As we look at the back of the unit, going from left to right, let me describe exactly the inputs and outputs on the unit. Over here on the left-hand side, this multi-pin connector you see here is actually your analog audio, input and output. So you've got 8 channels of analog audio that you can either feed in as an input or configure as an output from the digital embedded audio coming in on the SDI signal. Next over here, we happen to have the digital audio. And let me just mention that the analog audio is an option, and also the digital audio is an option. And with the digital audio option, you end up with 2 sets of 4 BNC connectors. So you have actually 8 channels of digital audio, both in and out. And again, that would be an option. And there's an option 41 and an option 43, and the option 43 includes the loudness function. Next over, we happen to have another option, and that's the composite video option. With the composite video option installed, you have both an A and a B input, and you've got a switched output. Next over, we have our SDI input, and that's standard on the unit. And again, you have 2 inputs. You have your A and you have your B input. Looking down below, you have your output, your SDI output here, which can either be a switched output that follows whether you selected A or B, would come out this connector here, or if you like, you can have it where both can function as a loop through, where A can loop through to A output, B can come in and loop through to B output. And again, it's utilizing these 2 connectors down below. Going back over here to the left-hand side on the bottom, we have the legacy contact closure connection there that can be used to access, let's say, a preset using some sort of remote control. Next over, we have the Ethernet port. This allows you to be able to hook up the LV5770 to a computer or to your network. You're able to set an IP address or set it for DHCP, and that allows you to be able to control the unit remotely or also use it for monitoring purpose to see what's going on remotely. And that's via the Ethernet port on the back. Next over, we have our DVI-D output, which allows you to take the same display that you see on the front and feed that to a much larger monitor in XGA resolution, which is 1024 by 768. To the right of that is the HDMI Picture monitor output. That output allows you to be able to take the SDI input coming in, let's say HD, and be able to output that as an HDMI signal instead of a HDSDI signal. So if you don't have a separate dedicated video monitor for looking at an HDSDI signal, you could have that converted to HDMI and actually fed out through that HDMI connector. Now that's just a picture. That's not the graticule and waveform and vector, just a picture, but it can save you from having to buy or use a regular HDSDI monitor. We already described the SDI outputs, and the final one over to the right-hand side is your external reference. And the LV5770 accepts both tri-level sync and also blackburst as reference. And it has a loop through on that, so you can feed your reference in and come back out the other side. Here are the accessories that are available for the LV5770.